All right, guys, welcome to the Board Podcast. My name is Francis, and with me today we have Nicolette,
Hello.
local man from Chisoga, and of course we have a special guest in the building, Madame Miriam. She's very passionate about boy child rights, and of course we've never had this kind of topic here, but we've often been, brushing off a little bit. But today I want to go deep into it, just to understand the dynamics of the current war against, I call it a war against the boy child.
It's not
It's a war against okay, we shall be delving deep into it later on, but for now, I'd love to find out from us how was our week from Monday up to Friday. Just feel free, just
So I started with
yeah.
you. My week was pretty much very active. Of course, working in a space where we have teens with a very vibrant staff as a head of team.
Oh, by the way, before she
I-
goes ahead, I would love you to introduce yourself fully.
That is fully.
Everything you do.
So my name is Miriam Ndianavo at work. Many times people call me the mother of more than 1,000 children. I am a certified coach with International Federation Association. The head teacher, the British School of Kampala Secondary Section. I am a mother of 6 vibrant children, with the youngest aged 9 now.
Okay.
I work with various organizations globally to support men and boys on issues pertaining their well-being and health. I also sit on the Ministry of Finance Committee of Health. We audit the 20 referral hospitals in Uganda. I'm a Rotarian. I'm also a member of Mothers Union. And so pretty much my interests are in serving, and I really love to go out there and give a hand in everything that nurtures young ones, that supports growth. Yeah.
Okay, that's quite a CV.
That's quite a CV.
Nicola, are you not inspired?
I'm totally inspired.
Thank you.
Okay. So how was your week?
My week was busy because we are planning to get back online because of the Ebola outbreak.
Okay.
So we are busy realigning ourselves to that program, which will take us up to the end of this term. So and I'm enjoying, organizing the team to take the children through this season. So yeah, it's been busy but fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
William.
My week, I'm always a happy human being. I'm never sad about anything.
Yeah.
This week being that the World Cup is starting, yes, and of course I'm Team German. By the end of World Cup, we shall have a fifth star here. We shall have won the World Cup, so I'm just excited, looking forward to the kickoff of the World Cup.
Okay.
I hear you.
Well, my week was awesome actually because I added a year to myself last week, so yay.
No, we didn't see the
birthday.
photos.
Yeah, thank you, belated thanks. Francis, why don't you check my status of? So,
Easy.
so I'm a year older. I feel a bit wiser, but there's a lot of work to do. But, we shall get there. So yeah, it's been a beautiful week, very exciting. A lot of surprises here and there. My friends, big ups to them. Love you guys, and family. Yeah, so happy week,
I hope
family
they really
and friends.
they surprise you every day.
I was surprised
You did surprise yourself.
on one of them. Not that two, but yeah, surprise.
Okay.
Pleasantly.
Alright. Me, I've never celebrated my birthday, so I can't relate.
It's okay.
Yeah.
That's one of the things children face.
Happy birthday.
For the future. But I am November baby.
No.
Whatever, happy birthday.
William, have you celebrated your birthday before?
Hmm?
Yes.
No, I've never.
See? They were celebrated, but don't look at us like we are suffering from some rare disease.
We are not. It's okay.
It is okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so for me, my week was normal, but me, I observed a few things that I love to see. I like to follow a lot about what is going on social media. And I saw there's that photo that has been making rounds of Winnie Nwaji.
Makeup.
Yeah, melting with makeup. So most of the times when I see these photos, I don't focus on what has been written. I focus on what people are saying. But what I've realized over time is that much as women are fighting for empowerment and supporting themselves, equality, girl power, I feel like the biggest enemy of women is themselves. Because majority of the comments that were pulling down Winnie Nwaji were women. You know, most of them were sarcastically mocking her. And I feel like something is wrong with certain people in society. And there's a big problem that needs to be dealt with. I don't know how, but I was so not pleased about it. You know, because we all know that makeup, you know,
Drops.
yeah, melts. But the way the lady was mocked was really unpleasant.
Maybe the makeup was expired.
So
Not every makeup.
no, William, it's not necessarily expired for it to melt.
Has it ever happened to her before? Have you ever seen any photo?
I have never, but maybe
This was the
perhaps
first time,
this-
not so?
This
Maybe.
particular artist used poor brands, not necessarily expired,
But
poor
Winnie
quality.
Nwaji usually performs and we've never seen something like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe the
Perhaps
makeup was expired or the
poor
pers-
quality.
Yes.
The person, the
Yes,
makeup
so
artist, maybe used poor
People
quality
might
brand.
have commented
Mm.
telling her to get a better makeup artist, which is good for her brand. Her brand, we shouldn't see such photos.
of melting makeup.
Yes. You see now Sheba changed because
She
it
used to
was
melt as well.
yes, but nowadays she can perform sweat and it can never melt. So me, I see nothing. If
Wrong
someone
with that.
comments with respect, I see
There was
nothing
no
because even
respect.
social media says what is on your mind. So you,
Right?
yes, so you just say what is
And
on
they
your
let it trip. You seem like you want to say something.
No, I really, I loved the illusion in the picture. It's a representation of hard work. Several times society, especially here, looks at beyond you when they don't even know you. She's a creator. She's on stage to present something. So for me, it was beautiful. It was one of the best, probably, images I've ever seen. An illusion of colors mixed together to really show activity, strength, power. You know, I've never seen such a thing.
That's
And
one way of seeing
I
it,
haven't
actually.
stopped looking at that picture, and I really would like to appreciate her for not accepting to go off stage to wipe herself. And probably it's a lesson to all of us. You don't wipe who you are. You keep there and people know you for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we should also even credit the photographer.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it
that
was a
photographer,
masterpiece for me.
definitely.
It is something you can't find.
Wow, that's an
Okay,
interesting
that-
And for the
That's
fact
one
that
way
her
of seeing it.
You
flesh
see
can
that?
fight
Mm.
something that is on her, and that sweat penetrates through, shows she's very healthy.
Okay.
She's breathing, she's alive.
Her
She's
pores are
juicy.
active.
Yeah.
Of course.
She's juicy.
Yeah, she
I
looks.
really liked the picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
You
an
see,
interesting.
you see
Well,
now,
that's
Francis,
fine.
your mindset has changed.
Has it though?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm now looking at it in a different light.
Yeah.
Now that she has said
Yeah,
that.
and probably the comments. People struggle with a lot of netiquette today. People don't have etiquette, online etiquette. Like people don't know when not to and when to.
Yes.
People come from a very angry place.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, people don't go in depth to appreciate the subject.
Yes.
Someone looks at you and they think because you're winning Waji, they know you. They don't know her. She's just someone you've heard sing. But beyond her, there's sweat, there's a voice, there's hard work, there's breath.
And there's
If
a
you
human
want to
being.
look at it from a critical point of view,
Mhm.
for me, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, then we shall be laughing at all these farmers who stink sweat. We shall be
Fishermen.
laughing at
Mechanics.
all these
Mm.
people who climb mountains
that's
for
a
health
point.
reasons
Uh,
and they are smelling beautiful sweat. We shall be very uncomfortable with each other, which is typical because the assumption today is that everyone should be clean, should be beautiful, should be smart. So we don't want to associate with anyone who is seemingly a hard worker.
yeah. Yeah, so now we are going to the real reason why Madam Miriam is here. Like we said, Madam Miriam, she's very passionate about boy-child rights, and the major talking point we're going to be dealing with today is how the fight for girl-child rights has almost turned into a war against the boy-child. So many times we've seen women almost want to be men, which is totally not supposed to be that way. If you want to be, equality isn't all about being on the same level, but I think equality is about having the same, almost similar access to certain services. When it comes to homes, like maybe family issues, you find that most of the times when women get in problems, like maybe get family issues with their husbands and everything, they run to the police. When they run to the police will be quick to listen to the boy, to the woman's side, and forget the man's side. And oftentimes that has also pushed men to adopt certain characters. Today they tell women, "Mkaza ino kuba muyonjo, mkaza ino kuisa bulungi bawe." But there's not very many people that are teaching the boy child how to carry on themselves in society. That's why, because of this sidelining and fight against the boy child has become sometimes unruly, which sometimes I ended up in them hurting the girl child and doing all this weird kind of thing.
When you were briefing about the whole thing, you talked about a boy child being a certain way. For example, they're not trained on certain things and
Yes.
stuff, but I don't think that's really related to the whole imbalance already. It could be in a way, but that goes on the other hand of that's one of the reasons why they're even empowering the women more, because when you find in the home setting, in most cases the boys are pampered, hence the boy is not going to do this chore, the woman is going to do this chore, the girl is going to do this and that, and that's why the boy comes out and doesn't know anything, mostly because they put him in that whole
Pampering.
regard. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why there is empowerment for women, so that there is balance for both of them to handle certain things equally. So when you say that that's one of the reasons they are maybe acting out or anything, the whole gender balance thing, yes, right now there is need for the boys to be empowered. However, that's simply because the women had been, like, the gap between the women and the men had been quite big. So them trying to cover it up, yes, right now we could say we are somewhere here or maybe there, but then the fact that this gap was too big, there was too much pushing, empowering, hence causing this whole situation. But of which, despite that whole empowering of women, there are still men that are treated as gods in their families and even in companies and societies, and there is still that thing that we are fighting. That's why it's still the activism is still going on hard, because it's still there. The problem is still not yet tackled.
So for you, we should continue pushing the girl child.
For me, there should be a balance, because there is need to keep pushing the girl child. However, there is need to also push the boy child some. The problem is some girl children, in some societies, they're pushed too hard. too high, and then in other societies, men are still glorified a lot, which is most of the societies anyway. Because when you look at even in the Western world, there's always talking about men are paid more than the women in the
Yeah.
same workspace,
Yeah,
same
true.
work.
True.
You know, so we still have that problem. However, the activism for women is still also again overshadowing some men. So there is that problem of maybe the weaker men like that are just now suffering from the I don't know how to express it. But what I know is
Oh,
activism
boy.
should keep going on for the women. Though the men also need to be like given a hand, those that are yeah.
Anyway, for me, Francis labeled it a war. For
Yeah.
me, I don't think so. I think I could call it this empowerment has sort of neglection and double standards in it. Because let me say, if you're empowering a girl child, there are certain things you shouldn't do. Like the way you see when we are applying to join university, why are you adding a girl child 3 points? For what?
No, I think it's not really relevant now, but then it was.
It's
Yes,
it's
right
still
now,
there.
right
So-
now,
yeah, it is still there,
Yes.
but it's probably not relevant now. I agree with you on that.
yes, they should change that totally. So that we don't have those double standards. That let everyone reach wherever he or she wants on merit, without anything that this is a girl, this is a boy. It should be strictly
On merit.
Yeah, that is simple as that.
Okay, Madam Miriam, you have the floor now.
I first of all want to take this opportunity to thank you very much for creating this space for me to speak about something that I'm really very passionate about. 10 years ago, and I keep saying this, maybe I reached my point of maturity and I started looking at things in the way I should be looking at them without fear. Like if something is brown, I should be strong enough to say that's brown because I know it's brown. They've mixed this hue and this hue to make it brown. So I speak about this subject with a lot of sensitivity, considering where I am coming from with gender issues. One, I'm glad to be a woman. I'm glad to be a wife, a mother to boys, a friend to many men, and I'm happy for the journey that I have walked because thousands of men from very many parts of the world have reached out to me to say something. And for me that has summed the story with a very fantastic conclusion. I was telling a circle of women activists about the vocabulary to empower. I think we've not been empowered.
The women?
I think the women have been powered. I think we've not been empowered. I think we've been powered. Go, you can do it, just go. So we've grown up in this violent kind of movement. For us, we have arrived, we are here. And all the girls, all the women, many girls, if I should say, many women have got this energy, which is covered with a lot of falsehood. Many women still go back home and they are beaten thoroughly. Women get extremely tired because we work as hard and as much as the men today work. We still go back home and we are asked for food and socks. We still give birth, we still go in our menstruals. We are still that woman. For me, I think there's a narration that we need to get into and change a few things. So that's why I'm saying the vocabulary. It prepares the men for like something. They are there, they've come.
Fight back.
To fight back. We are not enabling the men, we are not empowering them, and we are not educating them. So it's the girl child, and so many times people think actually the word gender means women. The moment you talk about gender, people think women. It's no longer inclusive as it's supposed to be. Even when you talk about, for instance, tomorrow is International Men's Day, people are in shock. It's like it's not deserving.
We are
but
not
when you talk about
celebrated.
Women's Day, it's huge, it's celebrated, it's been embraced. So it's like there's a step and there's no step. So even when they want to climb, someone takes it away, and it causes a lot of worry.
But
Who
is there
speaks?
International Men's Day?
Yes, tomorrow.
It's
Every
It's
hour.
literally tomorrow.
Exactly, and it's imagine.
And no one is caring.
My
Yeah,
God.
it's like, and it's very silent. It's my reason actually for pushing to actually do this this
Yes.
cast. It's very silent, but I tell you, there are communities in the world who really celebrate it because they have understood the cry of men.
Mm-hmm.
Many men have been told, you can't, you just cannot speak, you can't cry. Men don't do those things, and so they are very suffocated. So when they meet us, they burst into us. They burst into us. They are angry, they are emotional, they are suffocated. Because we have not even been gentle, we have stepped on them.
Yeah.
We have not, when you say hygiene, fashion, opportunities, rights, doesn't belong to men. It belongs to women. And so it's women. And so the question marks leave the boy child with worry. Who
Yeah.
am I? Why not me? In the morning when we are going to church, the girl's hair will be tied with a ribbon, a pink ribbon, and you'll see everyone like looking around for the girl's body stockings. And
Yeah.
then when they arrive to the boy, it's basic.
Yambala engatto tugende.
Yeah, you just put on that
Right,
t-shirt of
such
last
charms
week,
they
and
wear
it's very
to the
common in
sale.
many families. Just put it-
Yeah.
And then they'll touch the girl and they're like, and then
Yeah,
when it comes
put
to
it
the
on
boy, it's like,
the-
yeah, it's go, let's just go.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of careless mentality that gets us to meet men who are seemingly laid back in the things we would have wanted as women because they don't know them. They just don't know them. What I am saying, for me, I work with the 3 E's, and you can even make them 4 or 5. I believe that we have reached a point globally where we should enable men and the boy child, where we should empower men and the boy child, where we should educate men and the boy child. When I talk about those 3 E's, I can assure you they've been done with a girl child. Many girl children. But again, it also leaves me with a gap in my mind. Many times when I speak up about this, many organizations get angry.
Oh.
They think I'm interrupting a journey of empowering women and the girl child, but yet I'm actually pro the journey
Yeah.
because of what I've had my friends experience and what I've experienced. We shouldn't take advantage of this empowerment journey to make money out of it. When they say they are funding, they are empowering, you'll count many people in our space and someone will tell you, I've never been sampled. I've not benefited. Because there are people who benefit from this component
Small circle.
and they've turned it into a business, which then makes it a very selfish business because it's not inclusive. If it was a serious business that intended to uplift women, we cannot be uplifted alone. Because in my generation, I'm now going to 50. The girls who are in their teens are still experiencing what I experienced. The same things are the things my mom's generation and grandma experienced. When will this break? It means someone is not learning or being told. You hear about all these stories about teenage pregnancy. No one talks about teenage fathers. But I'll tell you something. Many of the boys, when you listen to them, the girls have enticed them into a relationship. Sometimes it is scientific. When we're going into our periods, we get very excited. We are on heat, we are fired up. Someone needs to educate everyone. Be careful when you're about to go in your periods. Ovulation affects people differently. Don't go that way. But you'll find people concentrating on the teen girls,
They only imprison the boy.
leaving the teen boy, leaving the men.
Oh yeah, because if you find these cases of where a a young boy has impregnated a young
Yeah,
girl,
yeah.
it's the boy that will go to jail.
Yes.
And the girl will stay out.
The boy will be punished because it's a gap that people don't want to address it, people don't want to talk about it. If you sit down with these girls and ask what happened, or the boys will clearly tell you, she looked for me.
Yeah.
She wanted me. She wrote me letters. We women are always the initiators.
Usually, not always.
But
we
to take
always the initiators. We're the ones who know how to front ourselves in these relationships. But at the end of the day, I also learned to ask, who are the pregnanters and where are they? Many times with these teenage pregnancies, and of course teenage pregnancy comes with live sex. It comes with STDs. It comes with risks children escape from home. It comes with thefts children steal to impress their partners. It's not just pregnancy. So I wish that we address the issues in depth, as in let brown be brown with no fear. You got pregnant. Did someone speak to you? You're pregnant. Did someone actually tell you what it means when you sleep with the opposite sex? And so we have these young parents. We had young parents in my generation, but people today talk about it like it's new. It's not new. We had younger parents in my generation. There is in almost every family, there is a child that was got from a maid by the boys in the home. The maids enticed these young boys. There's always a child somewhere who no one talks about. In many families, it's always the maid slept with the child in the home. The maid enticed the child, but no one talks about these things, and the maid goes free and their child is nurtured.
Usually the boy takes the hit.
Yeah. When you ask the boys who did you first sleep with, it's always the maid. It will always be someone who took away their virginity. But when you talk about the girls, it's like for them, we should listen. Who took away their virginity? Many boys are not virgins. And I recently was telling my Lord the Archbishop, when he said he will reward virgin girls, I asked my Lord Bishop, why don't you also reward virgin boys? Because then that encourages the boys to also keep pure.
Yes.
Yeah, so truly, and my journey with advocating for the men and the boy child is real. I really mean it, and I'm very interested in interrupting the women empowerment journey, because for me a lot of things do not make sense, considering the things I've heard and experienced. Yeah.
So, in your statement, you seem to insinuate that you say that women come home when they're tired and they still ask for food.
Yeah.
You seem to sort of like talk about, insinuate that women should be housewives and submissive to their husbands.
Not truly that. I'm saying educate men further about understanding us. Educate men further about understanding us. For example, when I leave home with you at 6 a.m., I was also breastfeeding throughout the night. I also fulfilled my marital obligations probably.
Yes.
I'm a manager at my workplace. I have expectations to meet. I'm bringing back home a salary. I'm doing all these things. So I'm asking, in the empowerment story, where is my place? How have I been empowered? What actually is empowerment? Or is it for certain people? Because this thing has broken many families. Many girls are not tameable. You just cannot tell her to shut up.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, because there's this thing, that
Especially
billboard
when
I
you have-
sent
when you have
you,
money.
that billboard I sent you, what was saying, girls are the future leaders, girls are the leaders of tomorrow. If I'm a boy or a man and I read it, where is my place?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that women should be submissive. Submissive, indeed, we should be. Because when you're submissive, you actually attract submissiveness from your husband. Who said husbands shouldn't be submissive? You attract the energies that you give
Oh yeah.
many times.
Yeah, but I think in this empowerment thing, we should at least at certain points be realistic. There are certain things that will never change. A man will be a man, a woman will be a woman. There's no way a man can become a mother. There are certain things, even though we empower what or who, they will remain that way. So I think sometimes this empowerment thing just goes overboard. That's how we start getting conflicting issues in families. that I'm a woman, I'm empowered now, I won't do this.
Yes. When they get money.
Yes, I won't do this. But in reality, you remain a woman or a wife or a mother who has to come back, do what you're supposed to do at home. Because at the end of the day, as a man, I won't produce. My only thing is to impregnate you, go and work for my family. You can't expect me to come home, cook, though I can also cook sometimes, but it shouldn't be a must. That since you're also working,
And me also cook.
yes, you should make me cook. We have to just be realistic.
So I think, Mary, if I get you right, what you're trying to say was, when you talked about the women, about the vocabulary of empowerment, what you are trying to say is people are empowering women but not necessarily empowering them as they should. Because what I try to pick from what you're saying is they should show women that women and men are different. They should empower them in their capacities, a man as a man,
Yes.
and a woman as a woman.
Yeah.
And that goes to say, for example, if in this society, this economy, the world we live in right now, both parties need to have an income for there to be stability in the home. So if both of us are out there grinding, we're bringing home money, then we should also find common ground for the rest of the chores and responsibilities.
True.
By default, a woman is a mom, a child is a whole job.
Yes.
That's a whole job. So if both of us are going and bringing back salaries, William, and then you're telling me when we get home, I don't expect you maybe to cook, though you can, you know where I'm heading with this.
Yes, yes.
That simply means if we are both empowered, you're empowered as a man, I'm empowered as a woman. The empowering for you is chores are not necessarily meant for women. You
True.
should support your partner. While you're growing up, your mother should teach you to cook as well, teach you to respect women.
And that's the part of education.
Education.
Educates the men.
The men.
You know, that's E. Educates them.
Then what is the empowering exactly? Is that part of the empowerment? Educating is part of empowerment?
I don't have the word empowering. I don't even understand it.
For her, she
So
talked
you're
about instead of
educating-
empowering, they are powering.
Yeah, because that's how I feel. For me, I've
That's
been
how she
empowered.
feels.
All my jobs, I've been a manager. And sometimes they brought me and put me on top of a man.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
you're
because-
empowered.
Yeah, me I
That's
definitely,
why-
I've not been empowered. Me, I've
You've
been
been
empowered.
empowered.
Yeah,
be
I
on top
feel
of
it.
men.
And however you're powering is because you work hard for it, you deserve it, as compared to the man they
Because
put you on
also I
top
come
of.
from a space clearly where I grew up in a generation of girl power.
Okay.
Go for it. You can do it. You must. I feel that attitude in my head,
Yeah.
but it hasn't helped me. Sometimes I've been found to be rude or too much. And when I speak like this, I'm speaking for many girls, many women.
Okay.
We don't know when to stop.
And you're speaking for yourself as
Yeah,
well.
like for instance, sometimes we have been trained as women, you know, this is how you behave, this is how you do things. What if we kept those values? Be respectful, be a good listener. Then these values also should be given to the men.
Yes.
Be a good man, be a good listener, but they're telling I and you only. And we are coming with these things, but someone is telling us, shut up.
Because they don't understand.
Because they don't even know what you're
Yes.
saying. You're being a good, and this is something many women suffer. I'm such a good woman. I bring money home. I try to listen. I wait. You know, I'm respectful, but I don't meet the same.
energy.
Because the man doesn't know.
Yeah.
'Cause
He's
we
not
are
been
neglected.
enabled.
Yes.
He
He's
has
not
been
been
educated.
educated. When you're going to get married, right from an earlier time for us, we are really prepared.
Yes.
Culturally, like, even us who've been in like kind of modern settings, the way you do your bra, hold your boob, centralize your nipple.
Yeah.
I just feel someone should also tell the men, put on your underwear well, centralize your, you know, yeah, like be smart, also be there. Because if this is what makes us elegant,
Let's
Yes.
both
so what
have
makes the
them.
men elegant? So I just feel we've been told and told and told for who?
Yeah.
as if we're in this world alone, like, and they tell us too much.
After
And
they
then
say men are
you arrive
trash.
in many spaces, and the men,
Yeah, I know. I
We're
feel you.
neglected. No, you
No,
get it.
I feel you now, like on a different level. Why? Because now I really get exactly where you're coming from. Initially, I was looking at it in the angle of you say women are empowered so much and men barely, in the sense of women even get to step on men's heads, and I don't think that's what exactly you are meaning. What you're saying is they should be equally educated and equally, the other
Like,
is.
For me, what I take from her is that I think for this thing to work for every either side, you have to go back to the values that we were born on. Because now if you're taught on your responsibilities, and I am taught on my responsibilities, then we'll have a meeting ground.
Yeah,
and
we shall
can
have
relate,
harmony.
and we'll have harmony.
Yeah, but once we go like this, an empowered woman will end up
Becoming
getting
powered.
married to a neglected man.
Yeah, which is
and they are
terrible.
very
Yes.
submerged. Many men, the men I coach or men who are at council, talk about things that you feel, I wish I can talk to your spouse or supervisor or mom to help you understand. Recently, and these are not things I intend to really share online, but you'll find things like, Miriam, I want you to speak to my son. He's now 28, but he's not even thinking about marriage. Can I please send my son over to you? And when you meet him, he's going to be like, meetings of women.
Yeah. They are
I
too
cannot,
much.
It's too much. Like it's an allergy. Many
Actually,
men think it's
Mary,
like an allergy.
Yeah,
Mary,
yeah, it's
I'll be
scary.
honest with you. I am that kind of person.
You see that? And
Yeah.
you're normal.
Yes.
And you understand what we are saying. So you represent very many men. Do you know that these days, if a woman says he's leaving a man, many men are okay with
Yeah.
it.
I'll be like, go.
Many men are okay with it, but I'll tell you, we also remain with heartbreaks. Like we
Yeah.
can't take it. We need
We
that
need
friend. We
the
need
man.
that security. We need them because our bodies demand that you're our need.
Yes.
So this pretense of money, I'll tell you, I'll buy this gold, I'll go there do my nails, I'll do whatever I want with my money, but at the end of the day, I'll go back home and I'll be thinking, pretense.
Yeah, it's
Pretense,
pretense.
total pretense.
Yeah.
Because naturally, women actually need to be like
Yeah.
Like
What's
women
this?
need to be
Wait.
like.
Like
to be loved, to
Yes.
be pampered.
A woman feels like
Yeah.
when she makes her nails, she has to be complimented.
Complimented, right?
You know.
And
But
then
now, when you create this rift, you don't get that.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask Madame Miriam, what is the difference between a woman activist and a feminist?
I'm a woman activist.
And a feminist.
I'm not
What's the
feminist.
difference?
I'm not girls. I'm girls, boys. I'm very balanced. I'm girls, boys. I really support girls.
So feminists are just extreme about women.
And I don't know, because I've never in my gender classes have not met a module that says, now I'm feeding you with doses of feminism. You now go out there. This is how much you will. I don't know, but I think it's like a religion. People go
It's
in.
like a cult.
It is a cult.
People go in and they're like, we must fight this. Also, when people have been hurt and listened to a lot of people who have been hurt, they are out to fight for them. But you can't fight for someone who's been hurt without understanding why they were hurt, who hurt them, and when they were hurt. For us women, by the way, we carry hurt for years. I can even come back to my job foreclosure, my relationship foreclosure when I'm still hurt. So you can imagine if you met such a woman as a feminist.
there's a lot.
But also, look at it the opposite way. What if also men got into their movement? There's going to be a war in the world. The men are just gentle and they've shut up.
Actually, they can't win. You
Yeah.
can't win alone.
No, we can't do it alone.
Yes, you can't win alone.
So don't you think the feminists are a problem or a danger to this thing of women empowerment?
I would think many times, many friends of mine who are feminists really know what I am saying. They know what I'm saying.
And they pretend they don't know.
They're not pretending, but because feminism has taken a route of progress, people don't want you to intercept because they just feel they have empowered all of us, we are fine. No, many women are not fine. Many women are sad, they are not understood. You've put them on a platform and made them naked and left them like that. Towards my 40s, I promised myself I must drive a Benz by the time. I must have traveled something countries. And I arrived at all those things. I still went back home and I was a woman. I still felt I was that woman. Someone had to instruct me because he didn't know where to stop and how. Because still I go back to the same issue. No one ever told him.
How to?
I remember how many times my dad always thought we shouldn't get married because I think he had prepared us for a certain space. Like we are in order, he had prepared us for a certain space. So he doubted many times whether we would be able to manage in certain spaces as married. Can she take this? Will she be understood?
Wait, just a minute. So, what do you mean your dad did not think you would didn't want
Because
you
you
to
see, for us in our generation, our parents believed in empowering girls,
Powering.
taking them to school. She has to go to this school.
A girl
She has to
will
work
do
like
this.
this. Like we're in that generation.
Okay.
And I think clearly he knew the men that were going to meet would not be ready for that.
They weren't ready for you.
Clearly, I know it. He was very worried. Will she manage? Will she accept certain things? They know. The many families are worried. It's too much. It's too much. You meet these girls and think, You meet these boys and they're like, yeah, I'm just here. that attitude is
Whatever.
not good. They were like, whatever. It's not a good attitude.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are stopping a growth of the world like that.
Yes.
I agree with you
Yeah.
to like some light, because I was looking at I went back again to the definition of feminism, though I already knew what it was, just to get what I had missed perhaps. And it's basically empowering women for like equality of the genders. The point is meant to be for equality of the genders, but then of course people perceive things differently. And also I think when this whole empowerment movement began, it must have been at a point where women were really
Suppressed.
suppressed. So the energy just came like,
Too much.
women all the way, not looking at the man that now needs to be groomed as well. But now when you look at, like you said, empowerment is a term you don't even want to use. And I get that, because then it's just like powering someone and they don't even have what they are putting out there. But like what you said, men and women should both be groomed into the people they should be towards each other as partners, because ultimately life is about ending up with someone and having a family.
And
That's
you
the
understand
end of
yourself.
And
yeah.
of course, you don't
That's
leave
the
out
ultimate
component
goal.
of
Happiness.
the component of growth, support, well-being. You don't leave out those components, because you don't just walk into someone's arms and you're not considering well-being.
Yeah.
You're not
Happiness.
considering values. Like there's no love. It's
Support.
just there for you. I needed children. It's like you're in a journey of I'm done. I needed children. I'm done. It's not
I'm
a
done.
good attitude.
That's terrible.
Because the children who will grow then will know, that's all I need. It's
And
not
which it's
cool.
not even genuine, because deep down, unless you're like a psychopath or you have like some mental situation and you're not 100% human, but every human that is intact with all their humanity needs a partner,
Yes.
needs someone to be with and support them. But that's why I get to ask you, when you said about your growth, I'm really interested about your childhood growing up. You said your parents empowered you and all.
Powered.
Powered you. And you grew up in that generation where there were all women and all that. Did you have boys growing up?
Yeah, so I was telling my siblings recently how we need male power in our family. whereas we ate the same bread, we were driven in the same cars to school, we went
Yeah.
to actually the same schools. I don't remember that my dad said he shouldn't eat bread, it's for the girls. But there's something my dad did more for us and didn't
Oh,
do for the boys.
For the boys, yes.
You know why I actually agree. Why
And
I
this
say
is how
that?
it has affected us
Okay.
as girls.
Mm.
Our brothers were not well prepared
Mm.
for responsibility, even in relationships. Our brothers were not given the opportunity to grow into men. They arrived into manhood.
Yeah, they just became.
So
It dropped
we've
there.
lost our brothers. We are taking care of their children. Their wives are very bitter because they think we should be their support system.
Yeah.
We are there and the boys are here. Clearly they were not enabled.
Yeah, they were not. And
And
the
me-
thing is, I don't think you can put your finger on exactly what went wrong with the boys.
I know it.
You know
Yes,
exactly.
I do know it.
What went wrong?
What went
Because
wrong?
my dad was coming from a family where women were submerged
Okay.
and then the men were successful.
Oh, so it was.
Oh, so he was trying to like.
Yeah, so it
Cover-
was his
cover.
opportunity to get his daughters, and there they are. But I think then it turned out into the reverse.
Oh yeah.
So we've not had a lot of like male power.
Okay.
So this brings me to one thing. Who is responsible for striking this balance? Is it the parents? Is it society? Is it government?
Okay, I'll tell you who. I've told church leaders to preach in our time. Go and address yourself to the issues that are affecting us in
Yes.
society, and among them is the boy child issue.
Yes.
You're spending hours in church, in mosques, counseling marriages. Marriages have broken up. You're putting emphasis on one component, which is like sex. That's not all.
Yeah.
It's more than sex. The church, the religious leaders have a responsibility of preaching in that time. The communities have a responsibility towards humanity. When you are addressing an issue, do not segregate. Do not say girls. Go on, girls. Where are the girls? Girls, go and serve the food. Girls, watch out. You are already segregating.
That's
So
true.
we have a responsibility as a family. Schools, I'll tell you, in many schools, when you say who will be standing for headship, many times it's the girls who will come out. The boys are like, let them go. No one has told them it's okay.
And by the way,
You can
when
go
only,
for it.
When only boys come
Yeah,
out,
that's true.
they will ask for a girl.
Any
Yeah.
girl?
Any girl?
Because it's as if the equality thing is like equal, is like bring the girls. So the responsibility is upon you now, I, him, and her. We are everything. We should talk about these things. We should not lie. We should not lie. We should not go into this hiding because you're driving a very big car and you think you've been empowered. No, you're just being powered.
You want to
I
keep
agree.
men.
Yeah.
I like the fact that Nicole.
No, like she's really. It's an angle that's
A
true
renowned feminist.
to our.
Is
No.
accepting.
Wow, William. First of all, I'm not a
I
renowned
don't think
feminist.
she's a
Though,
feminist.
yeah. First of all, much as I can bring in an income, I want my man's income to work for us.
Yeah.
Me and our kids and him, and then mine as well can work to a percentage.
Maybe
But
Nicole
he's-
understands equality as equal opportunities, and
Equal
that's where
opportunities.
I come from.
Yeah.
Equal
Is that-
opportunities.
Yeah,
you-
equal like the
Yes.
market should be you're given on merit, not
Given
because
it-
you're male.
exactly,
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what equality should be. Also, it should be that you as a man, because the times we're living in now are different from where we were back then. Back then, a woman could just be home and take care of the children and cook for you. But now men also need to appreciate that they should
wanting-
also be a part.
Changing the narrative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the narrative is different. So for both women and men, it's different.
So why is it always for a man's money or property? It is always our. When it comes
And
to
now-
a woman, it is mine.
Changing the narrative.
Also,
We
that's
need to change the narrative.
For me,
you
why-
heard about the divorce bill. Everyone clearly thinks. Many people think it
The man's
favors
supposed
us.
to die first.
Yes.
But I'll tell you something. I have not shared my opinion about this. This is my first time to share my opinion. Again, it's built on so many assumptions.
That bill.
Where does it leave us who have been bringing in a lot? It's as if all women are the same.
Then men
The bill is created in such a way that all women are the same, that probably we stay home,
And
we
the
all
guy
stay
brings,
home. So where does it leave us?
that have been bringing
Who
in more.
bring in more? You bring a window, I bring a door.
Yeah.
You pay children's transport, I do the shopping. You bring fees half, I bring half. Again, it has so many components of gender.
Yeah, it does. And also there is women who are actually who like do like almost the whole they carry the whole weight of the family.
So where
on
does
them.
it how do they feel about the bill? Many times all these things are coined with emotions. Like people come from an emotional place, not thinking like now us at this time we are here seated, we are two women, two men. We are coming from a place of understanding. We are not arguing. Everyone is trying to listen. What if the world was like that?
It would be a better place.
Yeah.
See, Nicole right now is very. I think by the time
Because you've not enabled that component to come out of her that you're seeing now. You need to enable that component. Just the same way she enables you to see her.
She's also sober.
Wow, William.
Yeah, trying to very sober.
What? No. It's because this is a very patent issue. Like really.
That's why today we really wanted to delve deep into it.
It's very patent because sometimes, much as we all want equality. I was telling William why it's kind of like a double standard when I say we both bring in, however, I want my man's income to cover us and the kids as well.
Yes.
But that's also something to do with nature of women. We like to be, what's the word? Taken care of. Like we want to be pampered. Like we want that. And now if we're doing 50-50, that's okay. But why yours is for us is because I might also go out of my way like pamper you as well, because men need that as well. But because in our nature as women, we need it. Yours should be able to also cover that part of pampering your woman. You know, love languages. People have different love languages. And for most women, it's caring and gifting. Gifting, like actually giving. That shows you care. Because I would speak for myself. You're not going to come up and talk to me and tell me, you love me, you have this much interest in me, and you're not spending on me. I don't understand you.
So what if also me as a man, my love language is
That's possible as well.
given?
No, it's also true. It's true to men as well. However, receiving, taking, I don't know. I don't want to say it's really like so much in the nature and the DNA of women, because I refer basing on me and my friends and the people, females around me.
Because you saw when if it was the FUFA president Magogo gifting the speaker the car,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have made
News.
the headlines.
Because it's normal.
But when it was the speaker gifting, it made news. Because you people are used to giving us sockings.
No,
used to
that's
giving
not
us-
what. But like even from the Bible, Adam would work. He would go hunt, bring home. Eve would nurture, would take care of, would maintain. Like Eve would receive. That's what it was. Like it's like DNA.
Yes, but
you know?
society is
It's changing.
But
However,
you know-
DNA is DNA. That's why there is a woman and a man. There is gender and there is meant to be gender equality, but there is a limit.
But
There
you
is
know-
where
Why,
you know.
why do you find the giving that the speaker did very
Newsworthy.
Peculiar.
newsworthy?
Because that's how society has
Yeah, but how do you
made
feel
us.
about it?
Me, I felt like, as me, I didn't see any weirdness about it.
So can I tell you, you can have all that money to even buy such a car, but there's something you'll never have that you'll always need.
What's that?
You're not a man.
Oh, you.
Okay, so you can't provide for yourself as a man. Number two, there's a very big likelihood that her peace comes from her husband, and so she felt he deserved that. If we all could afford, by the way, we would do that. For
Huh.
her, it was an issue of affordability.
Some can afford, but they can't give.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, even men, some can afford, but they don't give.
do it.
But for her, it's an issue of affordability and status. There are very many women who give.
I don't want to show.
Yeah, but they don't show. I don't even think she showed it. I don't think.
That's why I said I think she didn't want to be noticed. That's why she gave it to
I
other
don't think
people
she
to
did
deliver.
even want it to ever go out. She's not that kind of person.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's us also society, the way we coil things and go about them and blow them out of proportion and make it look like, hey, the woman has given him. How sure are we?
Actually,
And what
it's-
has the man
Yeah.
has given her? You
Yeah.
see?
And you know the problem with society is that society has always projected a man as the masculine type. You see, I read comments on social media. There's a guy called Jaja Ichuli, that blogger. He said that he said that Magogo akanye kufumba na kunyweza chiwato. Meaning, what he was insinuating is that in the marriage, Magogo is the woman
The woman.
and Among is the man. So what Magogo has to do is to make sure that he keeps the good sex
Do
coming
you know why?
and doing all this.
Because that's where the blogger comes from. That's the world he comes from. That's the way he looks at things. Who changes this narrative? Who really changes it? It's us.
I feel it's-
It must, guys, start with us. It's okay for a woman to give to her husband.
yeah.
Yes.
She must have known he needed this black car. And it's an issue of affordability.
That's the key thing. Affordability.
Every one of us would love to give to your husband this whole house
Mm.
and say, baby, here it is.
Take it.
Don't struggle, take it. But you can't afford it. So let those who can afford it do it.
But also those that can't afford it, do it at your level.
Yeah, don't want to,
Nicole, give me your salary for 1 month also.
Does she love
No,
you? Does
let's
she
not,
have
let's
an
not
emotional
go out of
attachment?
Katwe, let's just not go out of line here, Francis. Wait till is it?
I see. Okay, let's get back to like.
Yes.
All right. So I think it has to be normalized. Giving men it's something that should be normalized, especially
Yeah.
from the women.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we're going to change. But I think these such conversations are. the
But
kind
that's
that
a
we should-
real. It's a lot of work. Like
Yes.
way too much work to do.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it always
It has to start somewhere.
Yes, it has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, we are young parents. We are what? We have to carry the responsibility of at least you, as you try.
Yeah,
to,
I try to educate and
Yeah.
equip.
Mm.
You see, let me just come about that incident of Among. You see, Among, like how I saw it, like how it struck me. She gifted him an expensive car, and she's able to do that without any flinch. Like it doesn't hurt her at all financially. So it works, and then we don't know the background of him, like what he has been gifting her, what he has done for her, or even his financial ability in regards to hers, like in comparison. We don't know. But now what it got me thinking was, okay, now if she's doing this, and then if the man is not going better, like doing better than she
The
is,
expectations.
yeah, like doing more than she's doing, it might leave a gap of sorts, in my opinion. Why? Because then, in some cases, in most actually, when you look at a relationship, and you as the woman, you're the one that's on the upper end in the giving side, like you're giving in more, you're doing that. Sometimes a man tends now to feel inferior. Like he really does feel inferior, and I think it's a natural thing, really. And
It
then
is.
that is how he goes out to now find a woman that he can be,
Feel strong.
strong with, yeah, and then be able to again support. So while we're doing this, I feel like we need to have
In essence, you're trying to say many able women have suffered the pain of being left even when they are able.
when they are able,
Yeah.
and they are coming
Someone
from a
ends up
good
going out with
place.
a maid,
and-
Yeah.
ends up going with. But you see, Nicole, many men don't look for material things. Men look for emotional satisfaction.
Yeah.
Though it's changing.
Yeah, well-being. That's what many men look out for. You will give him your things, all those things. But if you're not respecting him, if you're not supporting him, his wellness, bringing him joy, many men have
Peace
left
of
these things
mind.
and gone. Yeah, because
For
for
them.
men, their ego is sunk when you take away from them wellness.
Yeah.
I have no peace at home. You've
I will
known men
go.
who have left their homes and just gone to some place.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's
but that's where he
peaceful.
finds joy. So
But-
for men, I just hope I'm understood. I don't think it's material like us. Us, it's material. You can go there and they beat you, but as long as you would rather cry in a Benz than ride a bicycle.
Yeah, when
For us, you have to come from that house.
right? Like every woman has a
Yeah.
materialistic
Yeah.
aspect in her.
Yeah.
The element
Yeah.
is there in everyone.
Yeah, so for us, that's why on this day, International Men's Day, we are looking at helping men shine them, look out for their visibility, well-being, care for them, care for their health. When they say cancer for women, go for checkup.
Yeah, take your man for
I've told
prostate
doctors
checkups.
it should also
Be for women.
be for men.
Yeah.
Because who are we checking these things for?
It is just a
For me to
circle
be
breast.
well and I lose my spouse,
Yeah, then that's not wellness.
then that's not nice. So the whole world is tilted like this.
Yeah.
Even in the health sector,
Yes.
they will care for us. You go and check for breast cancer, check for all these things. But there are also so many things that affect men.
Yeah, like for example, these prostate cancer campaigns. I mean, these breast cancer campaigns. They make a lot of noise compared to prostate cancer campaigns.
Yeah, and men go
Actually-
through a lot of pain.
Yeah.
But like when you look at it in a different way, because men are barely prone to breast cancer, let's say.
But
and
he
the
just
most,
said
yeah, he said prostate.
they have glands too.
No, but then like the men who get breast cancer, but they are very, very few.
Not breast cancer, another cancer.
Prostate. Of
Prostate.
The prostate.
But prostate, like, okay, the thing is, initially, the most common cancer has been breast cancer.
No,
Hasn't it?
no, because that's what has been pronounced.
You see, even
That's what has
these
been given
runs,
visibility.
the Kabaka run,
Yeah,
the
the
Indian
breast
run,
cancer.
it
Yeah.
was always
So-
for women.
Yes, they don't put
So
prostate
go
cancer.
to
right.
families, you'll count here. He will tell you, my uncle is in hospital, we are struggling with bills of prostate cancer. My dad has prostate, my who has prostate.
But
It's
these
a
are
silent
avoidable.
thing. But when a woman has breast cancer,
It's
Oh.
out
we
there.
fundraise, we do all these
Yeah.
things. Many men suffer from these things, Nicole.
Well,
Man, it's so sad. I feel bad to imagine those kind of things. Please, let's change.
like that doesn't seem like a genuine point, but like, okay. We're going to change, but not because of what you just said.
Because I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm hurt.
Oh my
By
god.
all these
No, but you know,
power
me,
in
I
your
really
women.
did think prostate cancer is becoming common lately, because like we all know, cancer is just something that we're all trying to understand, manage, and basically, what's the word? Inform like people to
Nicole,
publicize.
Let me give you an example. Example that
I think she
will
was
make
trying
you
to
understand
drive a
this.
point home.
No.
Let her first finish.
Let me tell her something.
Yeah.
Something that is always out there that they show you, you always think it is the most serious thing. Let me give you an example of Ebola now. How many people have died of Ebola?
I think that's about 76.
There are more.
No, they are not more. They are like 55.
Mm-hmm.
But just a police report of October showed like
250.
247 people died on border accidents just here in Kampala Metropolitan. Border accidents.
Okay.
But Ebola is dominating the headlines because just 55 people have died.
Because it's been given visibility.
Yes, it has been given visibility and everyone is talking about it. Yet, every day some of us, like us that don't have cars, we move on borders everywhere. And it is becoming another pandemic of sort. People are dying every day on those borders, but no one is caring.
So that's not to say that breast cancer is not prevalent,
Yes.
but you don't know what is happening down to the
The
men.
numbers.
Yeah, to the men. You might find that actually there are a lot of men.
But
suffering
also
from
for you to
prostitution.
understand, Nicole, what is happening to men, you need to pick interest.
Yes.
You really need to pick interest in these gender things. You will not believe it. You need to understand gender from many angles, from education, from health, population. You've been talking about the 1.5 points of Makerere. The Vice Chancellor last week, you might have heard, saying that the number of girls and boys now is more. The number of girls is
is a
more.
lot more. Yeah,
the
that-
girls they
that's-
graduate is more. That's very positive news, but so what?
Yes.
Yeah, like that's actually not
Yeah.
that positive though, because
As in,
when you
if
look
it's-
at the balance,
if you want
rate,
to
it's
embrace
meant to
it
be-
from a women's point of view,
Yeah.
it's a wow. But what about the other
the
gender?
boys.
And
Actually,
it's silent and it's gone and it's gone.
I got to
Yeah.
learn that even when you go for these pre-entry interviews at campus for law, by the time the moment the girl starts to sit for that interview, she already has is it 2 points given to
Yeah.
her for free.
It's a policy.
Oh really?
Yes, you already have 2 points that you have not
You've not
done
worked for.
anything for.
You're just female, so
Yes.
2 points.
Yes.
And remember the other week here, we were telling Nicole, as men, we always want peace of mind at home. And Nicole was busy telling us how how
Drama is very important.
It's
in
very-
the relationship.
Drama is important. You guys, let me tell you.
By the way, so Nicole, last time you were talking here about men needing peace of mind, like I've been hinting on, and she said no, there has to be some bit of drama to create spice.
Does
in
drama
the
stand for a problem?
Not a problem per se.
as in you make me uncomfortable.
Slightly. Let's use the word. And this is not it's not going for pissing you off or anything, because I would speak for myself. If when I'm in a relationship,
The way you
with
said
someone,
it was intentional.
yeah, it's intentional, but not cause problems. It's basically to wake, the
To trigger.
relationship. Not English is not my mother tongue. I try to use the words to mean exactly what I want to say. What I want to say is, if I'm in a relationship, for example, with someone, and then we are all lovey-dovey, everything is fine, everything is right, he comes home, take care of each other, and then the curve, it just goes like this. Like it's just like this.
We
It
are
gets
happy
boring.
always.
Actually, like it gets boring in that I feel like I would want some
To cause some
action,
chaos.
some spice, some action.
And not the spice you talked about is chaos.
We're using chaos, we're using big words. I mean, a little bit of drama, like to, shake up the relationship a bit.
Are you talking about like a chinyizo?
Yeah.
HTZ,
You
for
come,
example.
you tell me who is Fiona.
No, not like that. If there's no Fiona, no. It would be in the sense of maybe you've come home and then you perhaps you forgot to get me something, and then like I blow it a little bit out of proportion. I'm like, babe, how could you forget this? Like,
You
I
don't
love this,
care. Wow.
and then you have like a little mini fight, and then you make up after that. Like,
So what are you asking?
Is that necessary?
Is it
Kiddish.
necessary? Is it
Kiddish,
okay?
for us, the men we relate with require you to be very intelligent and emotionally in charge. You can't, if you are a smart man, you can't want to attract a woman who
Who's
is less
kiddish.
intelligent and expects you to pamper her and answer to little. Smart
Good.
men don't have time. He will leave you. I don't think my husband or men in my circles have the time for me to.
be
Because we're
kiddish.
talking about intelligent things. We don't have time for. I've never had that time.
You didn't bring me biscuit. How could you?
And that's like it's a playful kind of thing.
Ah.
However, like you
It could
said,
When
be
you
a
are annoying
culture
me.
thing.
Mhm.
It could be a culture thing, like you're seeking for attention. That's your way of getting attention. That's your way of feeling like a woman. That's your way of feeling in charge.
yeah, of sorts.
Yeah,
kind
of
of.
sorts. But I would think if you really, really are, you appear very intelligent. I love you, by the way.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes,
Miriam.
I really, really do love you. I see the way you are balancing your talk. I see that you are one who can attract an intelligent man. So you want to talk about geography, you want to talk about history, you want to talk about medicine. You don't have time for that nonsense. A man should love you, for your clean skin,
Please,
for your
stop
intelligent
the drama.
mind. For I don't want, for instance, to be pampered because I angered him.
Yeah.
Because if he goes out and meets a girl who doesn't have time for that nonsense, he will leave you.
So basically, my drama that I would want every other time is unnecessary.
If you meet a smart man, it's very unnecessary.
But if you
Which
get
a
fake-
smart man am I going to meet definitely, because it's not like I'm going to
You
be.
should attract a smart man, because a smart man builds you emotionally, socially. He will take you into networks that are intelligent like him. You will have intelligent children. You'll be smarter. You'll be talking about things like angles of the home.
William.
Hues, you'll be talking about hues. You'll be talking about
Philosophy.
news, global news.
Yeah.
You'll be talking about satellites and not just Ebola.
Of how his work.
Of how who annoyed you is nonsense. An intelligent man cannot ask you, who annoyed you, baby? Did you meet traffic? Because those are obvious things. He expects you to really handle them. And if
Yeah,
there's
but-
Ebola that is in your community, he expects that you'll take care of yourself. You'll understand what it is about. It's not something else. I can say, Ebola, baby, Ebola, nonsense. There are so many catastrophes in the world.
That need to be addressed.
Yeah, that if you switch on TV, people are actually dying.
Yes.
So it's not just here. So for me, I think I don't want my daughter to be less intelligent in a relationship.
Madam Miriam said
That's
that
true.
again. Oh my God.
But
I don't know how many people are going to watch it, but I hope every girl child that has listened to Madam Miriam speak to us is going to get enlightened and change your mindset. I believe by now that Nicole is very enlightened.
No.
She's educated.
She's
no.
She's
She's a smart
I'm
woman.
enlightened.
She's
That's
very
true.
enlightened, and I'm
On a lot of aspects.
yes, and I'm very glad that we had this conversation. And as we close, I want us to, whether you're an activist or a feminist out there, please, let's learn a new way of doing things. We all need one another. There's
We have to
no
strike a balance.
Let's
we
be
have to-
inclusive.
yes, you have
Let's
to
be understanding.
Exactly.
Let's meet each other at a point of understanding.
Yes, as we celebrate men, please.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, as we celebrate World Men's Day, please
William.
show some love to that man.
Put on your blue.
Yeah.
Go out there and support that man. Support
Yes.
that boy. Talk to him about the truth and realities
Yeah.
of the world.
And then also mentor the children, the boy child, the girl child. Let it balance, because they all need
True.
the education.
Mhm.
And the other is what, Francis?
They need to be enabled.
What's the
and
other one,
not
William?
Powered. Not powered.
Educated, enabled, and the third one.
I said they can be at 1,000.
Yeah.
But then there is one to at least have 3. Like, it's a good start.
And
Just get your encourage. At least say encourage.
local man, oh yeah,
At least say encourage.
encourage, please, local man.
No, he has a better word. Just let
Okay.
him.
You're putting me on a spot and I'm forgetting what I'm supposed to say.
Okay.
Which
Okay.
E word do I know?
You know it. It's there. I said there can be 1,000 E's for this movement. 1,000 E's. It doesn't have to be. For me, those are my 3's.
Your top 3.
Yeah.
Okay, as William remembers, I'm very glad that as you go and meet your smart guy,
Yeah.
please,
Not smart.
the
Intelligent.
intelligent guy, please, you cut
Smart
out the
is
drama.
like
But also, like, intelligent guy out there that I'm going to meet, I also am a bit playful. I'm pretty playful. That's
I think that's what you should have used.
Not drama.
Yeah,
Playfulness,
playful.
Not drama.
well,
Because every
okay,
man wants a playful woman.
Yes,
to an extent.
Yeah, no.
every man.
Every man wants a playful woman to get the vibe out of him, to ignite him.
But also, there's a thin line between playing and drama. Sometimes it can quickly evolve into drama.
No.
Yes.
Playfulness is you know your limits, you know what excites your man, you know what vibe brings
Right.
him to get you biscuits, to take you for a holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, playfulness is nice.
Is different from the.
No.
Okay, so like I said, English is not my mother tongue. However, I try to use the words I feel could express what I want to say.
Okay.
So perhaps playful, but yeah, let's go with playful.
Madam Miriam,
Yeah.
thank you for paying us a visit
You're very
and for
welcome.
giving us this intellectual
insights on
Insights.
the empowerment of women. I do appreciate that, by the way. It's a very different angle of seeing it, and it's necessary.
We hope to see you again next time.
Count on me.
Yes, from us to you, it's been On The Board podcast. My
On
name is
the
Francis
board.
Emulkle. This is Nicole, a local man, and then our special guest in the building, Madam Miriam. We're out.
Thank you.
Well, peace,
Yes.
love.
Thank you.